Crap. I scuffed it. No, I scuffed it. There we go. And then flip. I really scuffed it. Is it back? Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. We have news today. I have a lot of tech news today. Let me highlight them off because that's what a good news person does. We're going to talk about the RTX 4060 and 4090 Ti. Ooh, spooky. We got the Microsoft email leaks. We're going to speak about that. The 4060 Ti 16 gigabyte model, or something 16 gigabytes with it. Starfield 30 FPS console. 4060. We're going to talk about the Starfield 30 FPS console and how it doesn't have support for DLSS. We're going to go... Okay, so back power connector motherboards for the 5600X 3D. Ooh, that's actually... Okay. More 12 higher power connector burnouts. Shocker. Apple Air, you can now pay money for Air. NVIDIA Super Chip, don't know what that is. The RX 7600, and finally, the RAM and storage prices have finally gone down. Holy crap! Oh, and then Discord's getting backlash for the new naming system. That's a lot of news, guys. That's a crap ton of news. But you can only see it here with Death Star Incorporated. That in any tech news. But that's fine. Okay, so let me open up chat, because that's the one thing I forgot to do. You can unmute your microphone now.
Alright, so I did pull intelligent thing. It's not the Apple Air, it's the Apple Vision.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry, chat doesn't care. They
Anyway,
only... I do not work at Krispy Kreme, sorry.
He broke the Krispy Kreme hat.
Oh my word, the Krispy Kreme hat has been disappearing. Hold on, let me see if I can
with the 4090 Ti, we have had leaked images where it's shown to be a 4-slot graphics card. If Zach pulls up these photos, it also has, instead of the I/O going sideways, it goes up and down. I don't know why they did this. It's certainly odd, but given the fact that it's supposed to draw around 600 watts with 18.1 thousand CUDA cores,
Holy crap.
I'm surprised they fit that into 4 slots. And it's still 24 gigabyte GDDR6X memory. I thought it'd be 48, but sadly it is not. And we have the RTX 4060 launching tomorrow at a price actually fairly reasonable, $299.
That's actually not half bad.
The only issue is it's about 7% more relative performance compared to 3060 Ti. And if I can find 3060 on this list, wherever it is, 3060 12 gigabyte, 74, it's about 26% better performance. Sadly, it only has 8 gigabyte memory and 128-bit memory bus, so that is a downgrade from the 3060. Clock speed.
Let me open the image of the 3090, well not 4090 Ti. Yeah. Just real quick. I'm gonna show that. I forgot to show it earlier because I was trying to fix echo. Microphone. How about now, chat? Is that fixed? Oh, it's on the other person's side, not me. I can't fix that.
That's not my fault. It's coming from you, Zach. They can hear my voice coming through your mic.
That's... No way. That's impossible. Hold on, let me... Maybe this will fix it. How about now?
I don't know. So anyways, The 3060 had 12 gigabytes of VRAM at launch and 192-bit memory bus, which the 4060 downgraded from, but it is around $30 cheaper than the 3060. It also has PCIe 4.0 times 8 instead of X16, so it's a downgrade there. It does get an upgrade with base clock and boost clock and memory clock. Not to
So what
mention
I'm
the
hearing,
theoretical.
so what I'm hearing is the 4060 is technically a downgrade to most 3060s, other than on the clocks.
Well,
Or
I
like-
mean, it's an upgrade in price. But even then, we have theoretical performance. It's wins there. It has around 7 more teraflops for FP16 and FP32. FP64, it has around 100 more gigaflops. Texture rate is about 100 more, about 40 some odd more pixels, G pixel in second, and it's an upgrade with ray tracing. But if you already have a 3060, I don't really see a need to get this unless your 3060's died on you.
Yeah.
The 3060 is still a good card. 4060, if it had 12 or 16 gigabytes of VRAM, then yes, I would go for it. But it's sticking with 8 when most games are demanding more.
And then don't forget about the 3060 model, where it's a 12 gigabyte 3060 model.
No,
That's a killer deal right now. I believe what I saw it for.
that's the
200?
base 3060 model.
That's the 12 gig. I thought the base 3060 was an 8 gigabyte model.
No.
Oh. Then dang.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Which is fairly impressive. Like they decided to do that with the base 3060. And going to the Microsoft email leaks, I left it vague, but these are about 2019 emails where Microsoft executive was ready to quote unquote go spend Sony out of business. In the email, he was looking to acquire Bungie and Sega. And this is a 2019 email, which means they didn't go through with it. Sony has already acquired Bungie. Sega, I do not know what they're doing. But the main thing about this is this was brought up in the FTC versus Microsoft hearing. What Microsoft has said about it is that it's a 3.5-old email and predates the announcement of them trying to get Activision Blizzard by about 25 months. Not to mention, it said around 2 to 3 billion in spending range when the Activision purchase was a bit more than that, with around $68.7 billion spent.
Holy crap.
Hmm?
Okay, so from what I'm getting from this then is this was all Microsoft's plan. Their plan was to be douches and buy everything and to become a monopoly.
That was their plan in 2019. They seem to have shied away from that, given they haven't gone for Sega. They didn't try and go for Bungie. They're going for Activision Blizzard, and it seems they've been taking up some of the bigger game studios to bolster Game Pass.
That's okay, I understand why Sony's pitching a fit now. Holy crap.
But once again, that was a 2019 email. We don't know if they are continuing through with that. It might just be they decided to go through with it because Activision went to them. I do not know off the top of my head how that deal started. I don't know if Microsoft went to Activision. I don't know if Activision went to Microsoft.
This is still some pretty big news though. Like,
yeah,
it shows the view of Microsoft right now. Let's see.
Now, the next thing on it is the 4060 Ti 16 gigabyte version. where the regular 4060 Ti is 8 gigabytes and it's $499. Not $499, $399. So once again, still, you're able to buy it if you don't have that much of a budget. Once again, the issue with it is the 8 gigabytes VRAM, which does not work for. Oh,
Yeah, most modern games. I've started to run into this with, like, I have a 3070, but it's an 8 gigabyte model. So I'm starting to run into the issue of, oh crap, I have the horsepower, but I don't have enough VRAM.
the issue that I'm running into isn't, hey, I don't have enough VRAM, because take for example, Cyberpunk 2077. I'm able to run that 1440p Ultra with ray tracing on a 2070 Super. I don't know how, but I am. And I do that. I don't run into any issues ray tracing wise. Just VRAM's perfectly fine for me. It's not an issue that VRAM isn't enough. It's an issue that the people who port the games over to PC don't want to do a good enough port to make sure it uses VRAM as effective as it could. And the 4060.
Like, imagine it. Okay, so you play God of War, I know that. You've streamed God of War multiple times. Imagine if God of War used, like, this, like, had the same efficiency that the PlayStation 5 has on your computer.
I played Ragnarok on the PS5. I didn't play God of War 4.
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok isn't out on PC yet, though, so I don't know.
Oh.
God of War, the first one, or God of War as some people are calling it, that is out on PC.
Okay.
Going back to the 4060 Ti, comparing it to the 3060 Ti, it has, let's go find transistors. It has about 5 million, not 5 million, that's about 5 billion more transistors, 5.5, with a density of 120.5 million per millimeter squared compared to the previous 44.4 million per millimeter squared. And it also has a downgrade on the memory bus width, with it being around half, with the previous one having 256-bit and this one being 128. It also has less CUDA cores. It's lower everything, but it performs better. And also it seems that the RTX 4060 specs that I brought up, those were apparently 4060 Ti specs for some reason. So that was a bit of misinformation on my part. My bad.
Hey, we cleared it up right now. And it's not like we're a legitimate news source. We're kind of just like teenagers.
Kind of just. Anyways.
We don't have to be
go into some of the bigger news. Starfield is limiting itself to 30 FPS on consoles.
That is dumb.
This is on Xbox Series X and S. I don't know if it's going that for PS5. The thing is, I can't really ever tell the difference between 30 and 60 FPS. The only time I have issues with games with frame rates is when it drops. Like, it's just not consistent. If they do this, if they lock it to 30 FPS on consoles to keep it consistent, then yeah.
Well, here's my thing. 30 FPS was the standard 10, 20 years ago. The standard for the past, 10 years? Or not even that, 5 years, has been 60 FPS.
Yeah.
And every gaming PC, every console has been consistent with that. I mean, since the PS4 and, what's the other Xbox? I'm not an Xbox guy.
Xbox One.
That one. Since the Xbox One.
That one. Yeah.
They're too confusing. I'm sorry. They really need to figure out, at least PS5 and go, the 1, the 2, the 3, and the 4, and the 5.
There is no PlayStation 1. It's just PlayStation.
Okay.
Not Switch, though. It is 30. Yeah. It's just locked to 30 no matter what.
that's like in our time where innovation with consoles is amazing. We can get like 60 FPS on most games on a tiny handheld device like the Switch. We have gaming PCs that have what was the 4090s Ti specs?
Around 18,000 CUDA cores, 24
18,000
gigabytes
CUDA
of VRAM,
cores.
600 watts.
Like we have, I mean, sure, power's the sucky part, but like we have all this technology, and yet we're going to limit ourselves on a game to 30 FPS.
Now, here is the full recommended specs for Starfield on PC. Now, here's CPU, AMD Ryzen 5 3600X or Intel i5 10600K. Memory, 16 gigabytes of RAM. AMD Radeon 6800 XT or NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2080. DirectX 12, 125 gigabytes on an SSD required.
Holy crap! That is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. No, like, you were alienating so many gamers. Like, for the longest
That
time,
is the
heck, some of my
recommended specs.
friends. Huh?
Zach, you cut out for a minute, but also that's just recommended specs. You might be able to run it on like a 1030. Yeah, 125 gigabytes. Recently, games like Jedi Survivor and Starfield have both had giant storage, and I don't know why. Like, Jedi Survivor is 155 gigabytes, and recommended specs is also 2070 and i5 11600K.
11th gen?
Yeah,
Holy.
for recommended specs. The minimum specs is an i7 7th gen.
That is ridiculous. That is more than, like, my first gaming computer, or my first computer had 128 gigabytes on it. I wouldn't be able to download Jedi Survivor at all.
And here, there's been an update to Cyberpunk PC requirements with the new Phantom Liberty update, since they are doing a new DLC that is going to deliver everything that they promised at the beginning, apparently.
Okay, that's probably going to be a lie.
It's going to be $29.99. Hey, Buzz, how you doing, man? So,
Hey.
recommended specs is an i7 12700.
Well, that's the recommended spec. That's my CPU.
That's better than my CPU.
Holy
That's a
crap!
first. Anyway, so going to the actual PC requirements posted by them and not on Steam. So here's low 1080p expected 30 FPS, i7 6700 GTX 1060 and 12 gigabytes of RAM. Which 30 FPS low on 1080p.
Low
I'm
on
shocked at
1080p.
the 1060. Like, that's the 1060 6GB version.
Holy, like,
And
that's
that gets 30 FPS on Cyberpunk. That's not even doing DLSS. I don't even know if they had DLSS on the 10th gen.
holy, how? Why are these game companies making these massive? And I mean, like, that's a massive game. These
Going
games
to-
aren't optimized anymore.
Oh,
Like,
Cyberpunk, I have had no issues running it unless I did Ray Tracing Ultra. And then that blue screen my PC, but that was my own idiocy there.
well,
But we get the recommended 1080p 60 FPS settings. i7 12700, 2070 Super, 8 gigabytes of RAM. Not 8, 16 gigabytes of RAM. And then for Ultra, 4K 60 FPS, a 12900, a 3080, and 20 gigabytes of RAM. And then
20
we go to ray
gigabytes?
tracing.
oh, that's not with ray tracing.
Oh yeah, that's just regular.
Give it to me
So-
with ray tracing. Give it to
RT
me.
minimum 1080p 30 FPS. It's going to be a 2060 because the 1060 does not have ray tracing. Shockingly
Okay.
enough. 16 gigabytes of RAM. Ray Tracing Ultra 1080p 60 FPS. It's 12900 and 3080 Ti 20 gigabytes of RAM at 1080p 60.
Is that an i9 12900?
Yeah, that's an i9 12900
Oh my.
or a Ryzen 9 7900X. And then
Okay.
we go to Ray Tracing Overdrive. 4K 60 FPS, i9 12900 or 7900X. 24 gigabytes of VRAM, not VRAM, RAM. VRAM set 16 gigabytes. You ready to hear the GPU?
Give it to me.
GeForce RTX 4080.
That's what it recommends for the.
Yeah. Now,
What happened to the games that looked good?
this is a DLC. You don't have to get it with Cyberpunk. What this does, it adds new things. I don't know if it adds better. I don't know if it changes up the graphics. It's okay. I don't think either of us have any idea what we're talking about. Let me cheat.
No. Like, he joined in and had no idea what we were talking about.
Yeah.
But like, still, like the rap people, like the catch people up that just joined, because I didn't realize people were joining in right now. These gaming companies are making these massive games, these crazy unoptimized games, and just being okay with it. That is not fine.
From what I've heard, I'm gonna wait for reviews to come out for Phantom Liberty on PC before I say that, because it's adding new PC requirements, which means it's changing up graphics. It's either making it better, it's changing up some things that are just in the base game. So that's the PC requirements with Phantom Liberty installed, and not just straight Cyberpunk 2077.
Okay, so it's not okay.
Yeah.
If it's with the DLC, I can maybe see it's more reasonable. But
That's
still,
with the DLC.
no game has the right to just be very unoptimized or to be that strong and then leave like so much of the market just out of there. Like,
I can think of
a
two.
few years ago,
Resident
I had a
Evil
1050
4
Ti.
and Jedi Survivor.
Huh?
Jedi Survivor and Resident Evil 4. I thought you had a 970 Ti. Or 980.
My first my first computer was a 1050 Ti. Okay, I used a 1050 Ti. I had an i5, it was 3rd gen. I think it was the i5 3550. 4 cores at like, oh, awesome just sent the snap. But I had 4 cores and 16 gigs of RAM and 128 gigabyte SSD, and then I had a hard drive that had 500 gigs. That was my first computer. I couldn't play none of the new game. Like, if I were to use that old thing right now, I wouldn't be able to use almost any of the games that just came out that I would have been interested in. That's not right. Like, that's not okay. They need to optimize the games for the, like, even the lowest requirements should be able to go for them. What happened to games like TF2, where you could run that thing on a potato and you'd still have okay graphics?
Yeah, but that's TF2.
Yeah, but like, what happened? Minecraft. Minecraft is a perfect example. Minecraft
Yes, but there's shaders that can make it so you need a 4090 in order to run it. There are mods that essentially knock out the below 50%.
Doom. Let's bring up Doom. It can be run on a calculator, though. Like, what
That's a
happened to
game
games
from the
like Doom?
90s.
Huh?
That's from the 90s, man.
Listen, what happened to games like Doom, or you could run it on anything? I've seen Doom ran on a pregnancy test.
Have
Okay.
you actually?
Yes, there's a video of it online. You can look it up. It's a dude who has a... Hold on, let me pull it up. Doom.
Well, while he's pulling that up, we have news with Starfield. Starfield partners with AMD, which means they are only getting FSR, they are not getting DLSS. which means there will never be DLSS to make sure you can run Starfield better on computer, depending on how bad it ends up running.
Okay, I got the video. Okay, I'll pause this. Let's put this up here. Look at this.
Royalty-free news background music logo.
Okay, hold on. Let me disactivate.
I mean, that's one way to do it.
Look at this. Hold on. Is it gonna pull it up? Oh, I need the other one pulled up. Hold on. Look at this.
Stream.
I didn't break the
God
stream.
damn
Look at this.
God.
That's a freaking speed test. Running Doom.
That it is. That it is.
What happened to these types of games? Where I could run it off of anything. Where I didn't have to blow $4,000 on a computer. Where I could just buy a pregnancy test and play my favorite game.
You never know. They might have blown $4,000 on that pregnancy test.
Look, he's just playing it. Like, I don't. What Doom do you think that is?
I think that's the original.
Well, like, that is ridiculous. Let's bring it back up to news.
Yeah.
Bam.
Anyways, so this Starfield sighting partnering with AMD is important because it has recently been shown that in AMD-sponsored games, DLSS does not show up. For example, Redfall got DLSS, it launched with it, and FSR. Jedi Survivor still doesn't have it. Dead Island 2 still doesn't have it. RE4 Remake still doesn't have it. Callisto Protocol still doesn't have it. Saints Row still doesn't have it. Sniper Elite 5 doesn't have it. Far Cry 6 doesn't have it. Resident Evil Village doesn't have it, and these are all AMD-sponsored games except for Redfall. And now we go for NVIDIA-sponsored games. We have Redfall, launched with SFR 1 and 2 and DLSS. Warhammer 40k Darktide and Marvel Midnight Suns, both launched with both. God, Gollum. Man, I have 10-year-old games that look better than that Gollum, man. Marvel Spider-Man Remastered was sponsored by NVIDIA, launched with both. Halo Infinite doesn't have either FSR or DLSS, so that's kind of odd, save for Shadowlands.
I love Halo, but
Guardians
Halo's gone. Halo's not recovering.
The only people I see who say that are going to be the guys who are like, bring back Bungie, bring back Bungie. When not only did Bungie want to drop it, but if we brought back Bungie, the games would be so much worse.
Oh, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, Halo's not recovering at all. Like it's just not recovering. I don't know one person
that's like
with
the Halo keyboard.
Oh well, you know I'm right though. You know I'm right though.
Respectfully, I have to disagree. I can tell 343 does want to make this game as good as they can. They could have done better with the launch. I'm glad it launched when it did instead of later when it would have launched with Forge and Vex and all that, because on the road to 1 minute.
Oh, 1 minute?
I was speaking to a lower voice. Anyways, if it launched with all these features, we wouldn't have these bug fixes that were implemented before they were brought in. We wouldn't have all these minor quality of life changes that we were asking for.
That is true,
and those weren't things that they could have thought, like, maybe they would want this, because the devs and the players are going to have two different things. Players are going to run into bugs that devs don't run into in their testing environments. Because a dev can't account for every single little difference that somebody's going to have with their PC specs or their console or their Wi-Fi or where they live.
Well, I would love to see Halo have a comeback. I just don't think it's going to happen. I mean, I'm looking back.
Every game.
Well, like, I'm looking back at this. nobody plays. Well, a lot of people do, but like nobody plays Halo right now. I don't know if you noticed. Or at
Please
least
tell
not
me you're
a
not
lot.
talking Steam charts.
We can talk stream charts if we want to.
I'm
just
not
saying,
talking
like,
Steam
I've never-
charts because it's an Xbox title, and even some people who are playing on PC launch through the Microsoft Store, which isn't counted through Steam. If I'm
Well-
remembering correctly, it's like 15 on the top most played Game Pass games.
Well, here's
Which
my
means
thing
that's
though.
got to be a bunch of players.
When was the last time you hopped on call with like a bunch of your friends? Like, yo, let's play Halo. No, you're gonna play a different game. You're probably gonna
My
play
friends
Call of
aren't
Duty.
Halo fan. No, we're not. My friends
Or
aren't really
for
Halo
me,
fans.
it's
that's the thing.
Minecraft or Rainbow Six Siege or what? Yeah, Siege, Minecraft.
Suggested royalty-free music collective.
Hey, ignore that. Ignore that. No. Focus on the string. But like, I just don't see people playing it. Very, like I like you were the. I'll be honest with you, my friend. You were the only person I know that plays Halo right now. Like the new Halo.
The thing is, every single Halo that 343 has launched has broke records in some way for Halo. Halo
Oh.
Infinite had the largest streaming. I don't remember what Halo 5 had, and if I remember correctly, Halo 4 sold more than Halo 3.
I mean, I love Halo. I will admit, because like Master Chief Collection. Oh, beautiful.
When was the
game.
last time you played Infinite?
Infinite?
The new
It's
one.
been almost a year, maybe two. It's been a
Give
while.
it a shot.
Give it a
I will
shot.
play it on stream with you.
Okay, I'll have to rebuy it or because I don't have Game
It's
Pass.
free. Multiplayer's free.
Okay, I'll definitely do that. That'll be a future stream.
And I've also heard complaints about the whole Battle Pass thing, and it's it's a free game, so it's bound to have some sort of microtransactions. But you take a look at their Battle Pass compared to anybody else, it's effectively the best on the market because you don't only have just 3 months to complete it. Because
Or you
you
don't
buy
pay
it, you're always gonna have it. You buy it, and it's still available at a later purchase date, and if you want to get it. Like right now, you can hop on Infinite, buy the Season 1 Battle Pass if you want.
That's something I like. I'll say that. I like that.
Yeah.
It's not like the Overwatch one where it lasts for only a few. Like
Or,
only a
you
little
know, the
bit.
Fortnite
and
one
then,
that they took it from.
huh?
Or the Fortnite one that started it all.
Dear Lord, why'd Fortnite have to start it? You know, I only played Fortnite because I lost a bet and then I streamed it. Like, Fortnite should have never had this stupid battle pass.
There's only apparently one NVIDIA sponsored game in the past 3 years that doesn't have FSR, and that's Battlefield 2042. Every other NVIDIA sponsored game has FSR, but more often than not, you look at an AMD sponsored game, they're not going to have DLSS.
Here, I'm going to put a poll in chat. What should we put a poll in? Because I like putting polls in.
1 or 2.
Let's go 2.
But for example, NVIDIA has a piece of software that makes it easy for game devs to implement FSR, XeSS, and all that. Like, why does AMD have an issue with including the competition's upscaling tech, when in reality it doesn't matter because it'll show, hey, look, we're not willing to use this, so maybe we can get more people to buy our products, but in the end, if they continue with this, it probably won't. It'll get people to move away and move towards the games that sponsor both techs in it.
Yeah, I think this is just AMD trying to funnel people into the RX and the Ryzen products, which I'm fine with them trying to funnel, but like at least like, come on, like give me FSR. I need that. Like,
Yeah. Anyways, the next bit of news is something interesting, but I hope we get a standard for it. It's power connectors on the back of the motherboard,
ooh.
which I think personally is a great idea, and it looks great, especially if you take a look at it from the front. But if it gives us a price hike, or if companies don't find a way to standardize it, that way you don't have to change your case every single time, then I really see a need to get it, because it doesn't affect airflow. All it does is affect your look of your PC that you're not going to look at.
It would also make cable managing so much
It
easier.
would, but it won't affect airflow. So if it has no reasonable benefits unless you have a stupidly large budget or no price hike on it at all, then I'm not going to get it.
I think if they lower the price, I'll buy it. For
I don't
one
know what
reason.
the price is.
Well, I know there was the cableless, or not cableless, the cableless PC build that Linus did, which had everything where the cables connectors were facing the back of
Yeah.
the case, and you could just plug it in. It looks so smooth. That looks so nice. Like my whole computer setup, very minimalist, very like stripped down. Like literally, I have my computer, the mat, the wireless keyboard and mouse, trying to cut down on cables. Dylan, Dylan, my boy, I am on stream. I will call you back later. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, boop.
Going to the next piece of news, there's 5600 X3D, which is actually shocking. It's been announced for about 14 days, and I don't know how much they're launching it at. I just know it's going to be launched. It's going to have 6 cores, 12 threads with 3D cache. It's probably going to have higher frame rates than 5600, 3600, 2600, all that.
But okay, so
And-
what's the pricing looking like right now?
I don't know. Okay, so
Hold
external
on.
price and speculations.
Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. Dylan, I am on stream. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. Call me back later. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, pop, boop. Okay, continue.
Okay, so it might launch around the $200 price range.
$200.
And it's gonna, yeah, that's what people are estimating it to be launched during. It's gonna have a base clock of 3.3 gigahertz, boost clock of 4.4, L2 cache of 3 megabytes, L3 of 96, and just in general, all that.
Okay.
Next thing is gonna be more 12
That's
watt high power connectors burning, and these
Well,
ones
let-
aren't the ones from Nvidia.
Let's go back to
These-
that
Hmm?
CPU real quick. That's a
Six-
bad
six-
deal.
What, 6 cores, 12 threads?
6 cores, 12 threads for $200. That's a bad deal.
Yeah, but it's an X3D, so it's gonna be a great deal.
But hear me out. The i7 12700KF is going for $200 on Amazon right now.
Is it
That's
actually
12
going for
cores.
$200? Is that
Let me-
actually $200 right now?
i7 12700. Should be. That's what I want. Well, i7 12700K. So it's not $200, but it's only $50 more.
I bought my i5 12400F for $150, and that came with 6 cores, 12 threads.
For $150, that's pretty good.
Yeah. And right now it's running about 1.1 million handles. Don't know what that means, I just know it's doing it. And
That's holy crap.
Hmm.
That's still a bad deal. You could get
Well,
a 10
mine-
core well, not yours. Yours is a really good deal. I mean like the CPU from before. So you can get an i5 12600K, 6 P cores, 4 E cores, up to 4.9 gigahertz.
Yeah, it's impressive how
$197.95.
last gen AMD was seen as better pricing compared to Intel and and I almost said Intel and AMD, Intel and Nvidia. But with GPUs so far this generation, there's no good choice aside from Intel if you're going budget. And CPUs the past few gens, Intel's had better performance and is starting to get better pricing. But in the server side, AMD is still dominating.
Oh, absolutely. Have you seen, what was it? There was this EPYC processor. Didn't it have like 100 cores?
Maybe. Now going to the next thing is there's more 12-watt high power connectors running. This time it's not the ones that ship with the power supplies, it's not the ones that ship with the GPUs as the adapters, it's the KWMOD 90-degree adapters. So far, it's been maybe 8 reported cases out of, I think, around 60,000 sold. So it's not really much to worry about unless, and it's been just brought back down to you probably didn't have it plugged in all the way.
Okay.
Now, the big thing for me, oh yeah, and the RX 7600 got a price drop. It went from $299 to $249. Let's see what the specs are because they did that just to beat out NVIDIA. Now, the RX 7600 specs is 8 gigabyte with 128 bus width. Let me see if I can actually get the 4060 specs. I guess I did. No, yeah, so 4060's 13% better than a 2080, 7% better than a 3060 Ti, and 26% better than 3060. Never mind. I lied about the 4060 specs, apparently. Okay, so comparing the two cards, for $50 more, you get around 1,800 more cores. You get the same memory. You get a bit over double the transistors. You get, let's see, what are you get the same I/O ports, L1, L2 cache. There's no L3 cache on the 4060, but you get 24 megabyte L2 cache instead of 2 megabyte L2. And 30 RT ray tracing cores, 120 tensors. TDP on the 7600s, 165. TDP for 4060s, 200 watts.
Okay. You know what's a really good deal right now?
What?
i5 13400F.
How much is it?
Actually, no, the i5 500. $247.98, which is a lot. But listen to the specs. 6 P cores, 8 E cores, up to 4.8 gigahertz. 24 megabyte cache.
Yeah, I think with the 7600 and 4060, it's just, well, whichever one you want to get. Because it's just, if it was the same price, I would have stuck with whichever one you want to get, but right now it's $50 less. If you have the money to spend, then get it. If you don't get it.
So
performance-wise, the 4060 is about 9% faster. So is 9% performance worth $50 to you? It's up to you.
Yeah.
And here is the NVIDIA Grace Super Chip. Now, the CPU, it's a CPU, packs 144 ARM cores in a single socket.
How many?
144.
144 cores. Holy.
And LPDDR5X memory with ECC. The only issue with ARM is that it has to be shipped with all these specs. You can't just be like, hey, yeah, I'm going to buy this and I'm going to upgrade it later. You can't do that with ARM. And its CPU super chip is 144 cores and a terabyte of memory. Oh, wait, that was last year, because I know there was... Okay, Grace Hopper super chip. CPU, GPU, 900 gigabytes per second, 7 times faster than PCIe Gen 5.
Holy crap.
And Linus Tech Tips did a video on it that went much more in depth than I did. I'm going to see if I could find where he figured out some of the things from. Let's see if...
Ooh. I just cracked my jaw.
Nice.
Ah, that was not pleasant.
Yeah. It seems that NVIDIA's making their step into the supercomputer CPU market. And there was my mother telling me loud, can't wait to move my PC. Anyways, it seems NVIDIA might topple AMD there.
From what it sounds like, it's good competition.
And what I would hope for is NVIDIA goes into the consumer CPU market as well.
That would be
because
dope.
then we'll get all three competing, but in all three spots. And then
that would all NVIDIA PC. Anybody?
then
I'd go for that.
we have the Apple Vision Pro. And if I remember correctly, let me find the price of this. The Apple Vision price is $3,500.
500.
3,500.
3,500.
Yeah. So for its specs, it's 2 micro OLED displays about 1 inch in diameter, each with the resolution of over a 4K television.
Holy.
So you have more pixels in those inch than you do on a 4K TV. Then an Apple M2 processor and a specialized R1 processor for cameras and visuals. So it has a new processor and it has the Apple M2. It has eye tracking, 6 microphones, 12 cameras, and 5 sensors for monitoring hand gestures.
I'm sorry, but if you buy that, just go touch grass. Like, I can make you a headset
Honestly,
right here. You ready? Look, you see these? Boom!
Now, the thing with
Look at that. Cost me $0 and I can touch grass.
Unlike the Quest, you don't need controllers. You use your fingers to control, and it's essentially a big AR thing. You can still see outside of it. I'm using 2 monitors right now. If I get this, I could essentially have 3 separate displays, each doing 3 different things. And creepily, it scans your eyes and makes it so you can see your eyes through it. I don't know how much better I can say this. Like, look at this.
Wait, yeah, let me see the photo for this. Dog, man is not okay. Chat. Look,
Yeah.
man is not. Man. Just not. He's just not. I'm sorry. That does not look good. You like, it looks like you are wearing a terrible pair of snorkels. That's what it looks like.
No.
Who was the Apple designer that thought, yeah, I would wear this in public? Is it wireless? I should have probably started off with that with that rant. Is it wireless? Like,
Yeah.
if I put that on my face,
The little
well,
wire you see is connecting to a battery pack to make sure it can last longer. And I get why it has a battery pack. You don't want to be carrying the battery on your head. Better to just have it in a pocket.
okay.
Now, going. Oh yeah, no, it's horrible. I say all these good things about it. I'm not gonna get it.
Oh, I'm not getting it.
No.
It's my. Oh yeah, my camera is off. That's stupid. Like that. I'm not buying that. There's
Now going.
only the rich will.
Going to the best part about this news that Zach brought up earlier was cheaper RAM and storage. Right now, I'm on Newegg and I just typed in DDR5 memory.
Yeah,
I'm seeing 32 gigabyte Corsair Vengeance DDR5 6000 going for $105.
That's not half bad.
Thir-
That's
32
how much?
gigabyte
32?
DDR5 5600 $99. And that's still 32 gigabytes. Here's a 64 gig kit. It's 230. And then we've got 32 gig kit 120. Honestly, man, this is great. Because these used to be so expensive. And now the 32 gigabyte kits are nearing the price that I got my DDR4 32 gigabyte kit for.
Dang.
And yeah,
I can't wait till like it gets really low. Hold on, let's check the prices of DDR4 real quick. Hold on, let me pull this up on my phone. DDR4, 32 gigabyte. Because if DDR4 is really cheap, holy crap!
16 gigabyte. Oh well, that's not really a good look. That's DDR4 4000.
You can get 2x 16 gigabyte kit, so 32 gigs. From
I'm seeing one
this
for
is
64
Corsair
bucks
Vengeance
right now.
Pro. That's 64
For-
bucks.
That's not the Corsair Vengeance. I see Corsair Vengeance for $80.
I see Corsair Vengeance RGB Pro 32 gigabytes.
For $79.99, and I see a G-Skill Ripjaws V Series
Yeah, let's-
32 gigabyte for 64.
Here, let me send you the link.
And going over to SSD, there's a 2 terabyte NVMe going for $158. And yes, it's on sale right now from $250. Oh, you see, I searched Newegg, you searched Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon. That's where I buy my tech stuff now. Newegg is
I
good,
buy
but
them for
Amazon's
both.
been getting better.
Now, I'm looking forward to this because, well, it's just great. Legitimately.
I mean, I'm working on building a family PC. With that, if I buy two 32 gig kits,
Amazon
I could have an upgrade.
Prime. Wait, just Keith, just make sure to use your Prime stuff. Oh wait, we're on YouTube, my bad.
Oh, no problem. Like I could have
No.
64 gigs on my computer and give the 32 gig kit to my family computer. That is a great deal. I'm gonna buy that. I mean, I'm not even like a Corsair fan, but like, heck, I'll buy that.
And in general, all the prices are going down. It's reaching the point where you can, instead of buying a hard drive for your main storage, you can buy an SSD. I got you if you ever get on Twitch.
Huh? You got me if I ever get on Twitch?
Yeah, we'll use this Prime sub. And
We could
speaking
go
of
back
a good deal, real quick, what is the 4070 MSRP? Let me check this. 4070 launched at $599 MSRP. And
That's
we look
still-
at its specs. 12 gigabyte GDR6X. Now 3080 MSRP, which is going to go way below now because it's older. It's the 3080 was $699 MSRP, and the 4070 is around the same performance of it.
Okay.
The thing is, the 4070 and 4070 Ti, I have argued that they have better price per frame than the 4090 and 4080. So I mean, you should get them if you want to, if you have the money to spare. Yeah, sure. You don't. They're still stupidly expensive.
What I'm hearing right now, so like for our recommendations so far, don't upgrade your graphics card unless you have to the 40 series because it's not the greatest.
Oh wait, the 4070 is launching at the price of the 3070 Ti, and given it's about 23% better performance than the 3070 Ti. I don't know if they could have launched it at $499, but I mean it's $599.
So what I'm getting is, this is the time to buy RAM and storage. If you're gonna buy 40 series, make sure you have a purpose for it, because you could go 30 series. Really, it wouldn't be too big of a difference.
You could. If you're upgrading from a 10 series card, I would say because you're going from 10 series, it's not really going to be the best idea if you held off for the 30 series to go for the 40 to go for the 30 series when you have the 40 series to go for, or maybe if you're sticking on with 10 series and you're just waiting for 50.
I mean, if you're still on the 10 series, I've given you some respect. I hopped off that train a while ago.
I ran a 1080 up until halfway through last year, and that's less than half of the performance of the 4070. If I still had the 1080 and I had the money to get the 4070, I would have it 4070. Because it would have been just a spike in performance. I could play so many more new games that I couldn't previously.
Like in the I built my first gaming computer in this market that was like the market that was terrible. So I ran a 980 Ti. I ran Kepler. That was not a good idea. I mean, it did the job, especially when overclocked.
It ran Minecraft better than when you did your first 3070 stream.
Oh! You are so right. Oh my word, the 3070 has given me so many problems, but like now that it's
giving
fixed,
you so much performance. Also, in the Portal RTX, when you asked about the QR code, that was a link to a 4090.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now, with AAA games, since we were talking about those, AAA games have had ups and downs recently. We can't go acting like indie games are so much better. Because, take for example, there's this free game called Eidolon. They had an update recently where it was mostly positive reviews, and now 26% of the 1365 user reviews in the last 30 days are positive. It is currently mostly negative. It hasn't reached all reviews, but it was because Dev did stupid beta win thing. Also, can we talk about the new Steam UI? I don't know what they did. They changed up the UI and it fixed my download speed.
What the? How does that happen?
I don't know, but before I would have been lucky to get 20, 30 megabytes downloading a game, but let me find this image from where I was downloading Just Cause 3, and Oh, it went high.
Okay, we gotta.
Here it is.
We just hit the hour mark. We gotta.
Here it is. Here's the download.
That's holy crap.
And later on, it hit 650, 660. Might have hit. Oh, join Sea Life. It's important.
I will after stream, probably.
Probably.
All right, but that's really good. You went from 24 to 600. That's really good. Now, let's go over the last topic, and then I'll close off the stream because it is getting
The RAM
late.
was the last topic.
No, it wasn't.
The prices were the last topic.
No, it wasn't.
Oh yeah, the Discord new username thing getting full backlash. For example, I don't have an issue with it. I get why people do. It was the whole discriminator thing. You couldn't do Mark because there were already 9,999 of them. And it ended up sucking because, well, now there can only be one Mark, but there's infinite username marks. What I think they should have done is what somebody else thinks they should have done, and I'm taking this idea from no text to speech, where essentially keep the usernames with discriminators, but introduce the whole global username thing. That way you can, your display name can be Mark, but your username is really just Marquee number 3673.
I like that. I'd be fine with it.
Speaking of the username change, they recently introduced pronouns, which I have no issue with, but it lets me do something very funny.
I mean,
It lets me introduce perfection.
I for my pronouns I put kaboom.
Oh, what I did, I just put my name so I could have War Spartan, War Spartan, War Spartan.
All right, well, I'm gonna end off the stream real quick. Thank you for being here, my friend, Robert. Thank you
for tolerating me.
Yeah, chat spam. I don't know what emoji should I make them spam.
You are that slash guy. I see. Male, female, non-binary. I am a Walmart bag.
Walmart bag.
I found a dumb Discord emoji in one of my servers.
Okay, everybody spam what emoji?
Rat.
Rat? The rat emoji.
Rat.
The rat emoji.
Find a rat emoji. I don't care which one it is. I want rat.
Here, I'll send it. Bam. Spam that. Spam that. Yeah, it's the rat.
It's the rat.
Yeah, chat's actually doing things. Yeah, baby. The rat.
Ooh, yeah, baby, let's go.
Oh my word, I feel like I'm a Twitch streamer right now. And the rat is the new pod champ.
Where's a dumb soundboard I can end this off with?
Alright, well, thank you all for watching the whole stream. Y'all are amazing, my friends. Okay? I thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. That way you never miss another video. I don't know why I just did that. And I will see y'all in the next stream. Bye.
Goodbye, people.